Okay, back for the finals, not playing first. Since we're not playing first, this hand's probably fine. Slower hand, I like cards like this, because we can maybe get some value, so we're not going to mulligan. I'm going to try to pick up the third land on time and then go from there. Black, and a 2-2. Alright, so that's going to get eaten by our Rolling Thunder, we hope. Hopefully we don't take too much damage from it. If we don't draw a land here, we're going to have a bit of a decision to make, but... oh yeah, this is just playing right into our hands. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take the 4 here, but then we'll use the Pyroclasm to clear the board, and we should be pretty comfortably ahead. I guess he could have like Frightful Delusion or something blow us out, but we'll just have to assume he doesn't have it. Oh, another X2? Yeah. Good for us. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Set him back. Now, I think we probably want to go ahead and follow up with... Well, let's see what he does first. Okay. Card's kind of annoying, but we can rebuke it or wait and use the Harvest Pyre, or just obsolete it by playing this thing, which is what we'll go ahead and do. He's only got 2 cards left, so even if he has a removal spell, I think we're in pretty good shape. No, he's still going to play creatures. Still going to play stuff. That thing. Bat, okay. And Deranged Assistant. So he is completely out of gas. Alright. So he can pay 2 and 2 black to make this a 5/5, and probably will. Our options at that point are to... we can play Pitchburn Devils, block, and trade with it. Or we could play the Ironsmith and then rebuke it when he attacks. Actually, he doesn't have the mana to transform it. So, let's go ahead and play the Ironsmith and the Elder and just pass. And if he doesn't play a spell on his turn, then we get to transform our guy if he draws a land. Hopefully he drew either a land or a double black spell that he can't cast, and we just get to get in there with our werewolf. Alright, he milled himself for 1. Probably not to cast anything, probably just a mill, since he doesn't. So that tells us he has stuff that could benefit from him milling himself. Now we gotta decide whether we want to play the Pitchburn Devils or hold up Rebuke with Harvest Pyre. I'm just gonna go ahead and so he could double block, and then we would go ahead and get both with Harvest Pyre. Let's just go ahead and do this. He still can't transform his guy, so I'm kind of feeling like I should just get the Pitchburn Devils down and save the Rebuke for when he actually sinks mana into it. Okay, he's not going to do anything, which is good for us. Hopefully the card he drew was not the Force Spike, or we're going to be in serious pain. Okay. So far so good. Our 2/3 holding back his 2 Windrakes. And he still can't pay to transform the bat. Now he can. Since he clearly just drew that, he'll probably just mill himself 1 and pass the turn. Unless it was a double black card in his hand. that he couldn't play. Just an interesting turn of events here. This is the card that continues to mill people. So I'm kind of wondering what it is he's got over there, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. This time I have to hold up the rebuke. So I'll trade the Elder for either of his guys. It wouldn't be a great trade, but it would be a good trade. And obviously I'd prefer to wait until I had a human around, and maybe I should have played the Ironsmith first, since I'm probably going to play it anyway. But depending on how he blocks, I haven't ruled out holding up both of my removal spells. So I think this is fine. I think I'm going to go ahead and just put the 1/1 counter on either the Iron Fang or the Chapel Geist. I believe it's going to be the Iron Fang. And then I'm actually just going to hold up both of my removal spells and not play the Ironsmith. The reason is that the Ironsmith is not going to transform anyway for a couple of turns, unless he just has nothing. If he has nothing, then I don't need it. The removal spell protects me from him getting big with one of his other creatures, or for instance, if he tries to run this into this for a combat trick or something. I guess now that he blocked with the bat, I really didn't need both combat tricks, but let's see what he's trying so hard to get to in his graveyard. Dream Twist and Dream Twist. Okay. Interesting. So he's got a pretty substantial amount of mill, but he's aimed it all at himself. I'm wondering what his game is there. He could flash back the Dream Twist, and that would turn my Iron Fang back into a regular villager. I bet he's probably just going to go ahead and pass the turn here. The question is, do I want to do anything? I could get rid of his flyer. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. It gets rid of my flashback card, but I'm not going to flash that back anyway. And that card is going to sock it to me every time we trade, so getting rid of it is good. I will attack with everything. Why didn't... Oh, he didn't bother to flash back the Dream Twist. Well, that makes no sense. I'll go ahead and get in there with everything and then play another Pitchburn Devils, since I seem to be pretty comfortably ahead at this point. 2 main deck Dream Twists, huh? That just seems so loose. But maybe he has like a Scab Ruinator or something that he just really wants to get active. Couldn't tell ya. Well, to be fair, he was an aggressive deck. We just happened to stop him with the Pyroclasm before he could really do us some damage. So now we can win the game just by killing off both of our Pitchburn Devils, because he's at 6. So we should be in pretty reasonable shape here. He has another one of these. Interesting. Flashing back Dream Twist, targeting... What is this thing? Undead Alchemist. Mills, and you get a 2/2 when it hits. That's pretty cool. Okay, so he's decided to go to the next game. This is odd, because he kept milling himself, but it seemed like he had a lot of things to try to mill me. And that I really just don't get. So we need all the 2/2s and 2/1s we can get, because his deck was very aggressive and would have killed us if we didn't have. So we're probably going to want this moment of heroism and just to gain us some life and to kill off one of his dudes. Don't want that, don't want that. This maybe it's a 2-1, but it has to attack each turn. Probably not gonna want that. What can I cut? I don't want to cut this. This is probably the best card in my whole deck against him. Binding Mages are good. Keep him under control. Not cutting any of the removal or any of the lands. Heretic's Punishment could actually be too slow. Also because he has milling cards, that could be kind of bad. I didn't really see a whole lot that I have to worry about in his deck, except the one zombie, and that dies to almost everything. I guess I could cut this Butcher's Cleaver, because that's better when you're on offense, and I plan to be on defense.